The best of Mahatma Gandhi quotes and sayings. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. The true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. An ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching. The good man is the friend of all living things. There's more to life than simply increasing its speed. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. You may never know what results come of your actions, but if you do nothing, there will be no results. The future depends on what you do today. The weak can never initiate peace. Bravery is a prerequisite for peace. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. The best way to see faith is to shut the eye of reason. An error does not become truth by reason of multiplied propagation, nor does truth become error because nobody sees it. The only tyrant I accept in this world is the still voice within. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. The purpose of human life is to serve and to show compassion and the will to help others. The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Anger and intolerance are the enemies of correct understanding. To give pleasure to a single heart by a single act is better than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. Honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. A small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of history. Where there is love, there is life. Hate the sin, love the sinner. You don't know who is important to you until you actually lose them. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The spirit of democracy cannot be established in the midst of terrorism, whether governmental or popular. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. Action expresses priorities. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. Happiness is not a possession to be prized, it is a quality of thought, a state of mind. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Man becomes great exactly in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow men. Nonviolence is a weapon of the strong. The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation for goodness. It is better to be violent, if there is violence in our hearts, than to put on the cloak of nonviolence to cover impotence. The first step towards change is awareness. The second step is acceptance. Intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of a true democratic spirit. I have nothing new to teach the world. Truth and nonviolence are as old as the hills. A coward is incapable of exhibiting love. It is the prerogative of the brave. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. A man who was completely innocent offered himself as a sacrifice for the good of others, including his enemies, and became the ransom of the world. It was a perfect act. The best way to predict your future is to create it.